Hi, my name is Amy Pavlina, and today I'm going to walk you through Unit 4, Day 14, the Borough Flags of New York City for a Passport to Social Studies Grade 4. The focus question for this lesson is what key ideas and documents shape the new nation? So the first part of this lesson takes you to looking at some images with students. So let's go to that slide and let's see how we can augment it to make it best fit your class for collaboration and discussion. So here's the introduction of the model, and then you go into these questions to discuss with students. So one thing I do is I make this into a Jamboard, so students have that opportunity for discussion in the classroom that's immediate, fast, and responsive. So let's look at the Jamboard, and here's my slide 1. I put those first 2 questions up. How is a flag different from a sign or a poster? Based on the images and your own background knowledge, why do you think people display flags? So I would have these questions posed to students before showing the images. After you start answering these questions with your students, I'd go to the first image, which is the Dallas Cowboy flag. And the question that's going to be guiding them is, why do you think flags are designed with different colors and images? What do these colors and images mean? I would really focus in on what's on the flag. So you're having students look for the star image, the white background, the blue star. Why is it detailed? Have them really come up with some ideas as to what they're thinking and how are they showing their thinking through words. How are they displaying what they think? The next flag is a flag that students are familiar with. It's the American flag. So here's where you can really take a pulse to see what do students already know about the American flag. This is hanging in your classroom if you're in person. If you're not, it'll be hanging in your classroom in September. So students are familiar with this flag, even if it's in the corner. So you have the stars on a blue background. You have the red and white stripes. You have 13 red and white stripes. You have 50 stars, hopefully, on the classroom flag. You have the blue background. You have to really get students to think about, well, you've seen this so many times. Do you know what it means? If you don't know what it means and you pledge allegiance to it every morning, maybe that's something that you really want to figure out. What does it mean that you're pledging allegiance to? And last but not least, we have here, it's a Lebanese flag with the red and white with the tree on it. So for this part of it, you can keep the Lebanese flag if you like it and you want to go with the model that the lesson gives. Or if you want to find something that's more culturally representative of your classroom, that would be a great thing to do as well. So students can make that connection and become more engaged in the lesson. So I would take a model, maybe in your class you have a lot of people from Haiti, or maybe you have a lot of people from Albania. I would take that flag and put it for this example, or you can use the example that they give. After you go into the flags and you really discuss the meanings, you're going to go back into the lesson and you're going to talk about symbols and what they represent. So flags are filled with symbols. We did a lesson on federalism previously, and we explored the Great Seal. And here's the Great Seal that they explored previously. So they're coming back to it. And this was their independent work previously for some of the groups in your class. Here is the state flag of New York. And you're going to have students, again, you could take this and put it on a Jamboard, or you can just discuss it. What symbols do you see? What do you think they represent? I want you to really focus with students on all of these symbols, because it's not just, oh, I see a white banner saying Excelsior with 2 women and a crest. There are boats on a water mass and mountains and a sun with a face in it. There's a lot of yellow and blue. There's an eagle, what looks to be like an eagle. There's a woman with scales. She's blindfolded. Really guide students to really dive deep into what are they seeing, and I would note everything that they're seeing on either a class Jamboard, or if you're in person, I would do this on chart paper to chart their thinking of everything they see, and anything they call out, write it down, and then see how many different things that they've seen at the end of your time that you're allotting for this. Then we're going to go into everything that they've seen. What do you think it means? They're giving an idea of what do you think it means that you see a woman who's blindfolded? What do you think it means to have boats on a water mass in New York? From what do we know? Well, let's use our knowledge of Native Americans to Dutch settlers to now we're in the 1800s and we're becoming a nation with states who are making an identity for themselves of what their values consist of at the time. After you do that, you're going to send students off to work independently. In my other video, I give an idea for a culturally responsive activity that you can do with students to represent their own identities. I hope that this walkthrough has been helpful to guide your practice for this lesson.